guys, welcome back to Asher Books. So today I'm here to do a book haul. This is going to be books that I've bought over the past, I could say about 4 months. So I guess we'd say like a summer book haul. I think I'm doing these mostly about once a quarter. I did a winter book haul, so now I'm going to do a spring summer book haul. So I've kind of accumulated them all here and I split them up into a few different sections. So you'll see what I mean. But basically, most of these books are from used bookstores. I went to a few different ones, like when I've been visiting people. I love a good used bookstore, and also some of them are from Barnes & Noble, and a couple are from Amazon. The first group I have here are pretty much new releases, I'd say, or at least newish releases that I just was dying to get my hands on and had to buy a copy. The first one is Meet Cute by Helena Hunting. I just finished this book actually, so I'll definitely talk about it in my July wrap up. And this is also the book for, I don't think I've mentioned it on here yet, but I am gonna be joining a book club that Avery from Avery Loves Books is hosting. And it's called The Lovely Ladies. And I believe the first live show for that is August 3rd, which is, I think if you're watching it, it'll be like the next Saturday. So this is the book that we're going to be talking about. So if you've read it, definitely come join us on August 3rd. I believe it's going to be on Avery's channel, but definitely check my Instagram because I'll post some more information there as well. But this was really cute, so I really wanted to pick up a copy of it. The next one is Waiting for Tom Hanks. This book has been everywhere and I just could not help myself from picking it up. This is one I actually haven't read yet, but it sounds adorable and I'm very, very excited to read this soon. I mean, this is probably one of the cutest covers I've seen recently. Another one is a very popular book, and that's Fixer Up by Tessa Bailey. I have read this one and talked about it. I really enjoyed it and I thought it was a really fun read, especially for summertime. So this is another one I picked up from Barnes & Noble. And then continuing the very popular book train, I also have The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I also read and talked about this one in my last wrap up. I really, really loved it. It was really cute. I feel like this one really does live up to the hype. You know, sometimes they don't, but this one to me did. And it was definitely one of my favorites from them so far. So if you want to know my thoughts, go in, I think it's the last wrap up that I did. You can hear my thoughts there. So the next one isn't actually a new release, but I still am so excited to have it. So I bought a copy of Beard Science by Penny Reid, which is one of the Winston Brothers books. This is actually book 3 in the series. I've read books 1 through 3, but on my Kindle, so I really, really wanted to own a physical copy of them, and I figured I'd start with Cletus because Cletus and Jennifer's story was so far my favorite. I still need to continue and read the rest of the series, but I'm just so happy to have this in physical form. I've been trying to do my best to pick up kind of self-published or books that I have on my Kindle that I've loved in paperback. To me, I just think sometimes that's a smarter way for me to spend my money because I know I love the book rather than kind of risking it on a book I don't know. But anyways. All right, so the next group of books are just ones that I've picked up from the used bookstore. Most of them are actually starts to a series, and you'll see why in a minute. So I didn't pull them out, but I did buy pretty much all the books in the Kate Daniel series. You guys heard me talk about them in my last wrap up. I am so obsessed with them. So I already own books 1 and 2, but I bought the rest of them except for 1. I think I'm missing 1 that I got from the library, but they're down there on my shelf, but I forgot to grab them. But yes, I own all the Kate Daniels. So because I was so into urban fantasy, I decided to go ahead and try out a couple of new series. I definitely am gonna finish Kate Daniels first. I'm on book 7, so I've got a few left. But one of the ones I also bought was I bought the first book in the, I think it's the Psy Changeling series, which is called Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. I feel like whenever someone recommends Kate Daniels to me, they also recommend something from Nalini Singh, so I figured I'd pick this up and give it a try. Like I said, I probably won't pick it up till after I finish Kate Daniels, but I'm excited to have it. Kind of in the same vein, I also picked up this one, which is First Grave on the Right, which is by Dorinda Jones. I believe this series is called the Charlie Davidson series. Correct me if I'm wrong though. But I actually heard, I've been loving the, I think it's Smart Women Read Romance podcast. It's so good. If you haven't read that podcast, go check it out. It was fantastic. But the girls in there were talking about, I think it was in their book Boyfriend, episode, that one of the characters from this, and it just sold me on it. And I'd seen these books around a lot but never gave it a try. Again, it's the beginning of a big series, so it may be something I don't get to right away, but I was so into like urban fantasy, like vampire, werewolf, shifter stuff that I just wanted to pick something else up to kind of have. Again, similar vein, sort of, is I picked up How to Flirt with a Naked Werewolf by Molly Harper. I loved this cover. They actually had like the whole set in this like style, and I should have bought more, but I didn't want to buy more unless I knew I liked it. I'm pretty sure I've heard Mara from Books Like Whoa talk about this series, and it just seemed like a really fun kind of quick read that has some like obviously kind of fantasy type elements to it, but also I think really funny, so I'm excited to read this. And then I finally picked up and found a copy of Firelight by Kristen Callahan. I've been looking for this in like every used bookstore and I couldn't find it. Finally did. This is a historical, but I believe it has like fantasy and like steampunk. Whoa. Whoops. But I believe it has fantasy and steampunk elements to it, which really intrigues me because I like love the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, and that's kind of the same thing, history mixed with like some kind of fantasy element. So I've heard really good things about this. I wanted to pick it up. Again, it's the beginning of a big series, so hopefully I'm not setting myself up for failure here, but I'm really excited to read this one. And then I picked up Amanda Boucher's newest book, which is called Night Chaser. I love her Kingmaker Chronicles. I read books 1 and 2. I need to go back and finish the trilogy, but because I love them so much, I wanted to pick this up, which is like a sci-fi fantasy, not really fantasy, I think it's just sci-fi with romance. I don't know that much about it other than it's set in space, and I think there's a girl who's really badass and a guy who she falls in love with. I'm not sure, but it sounds amazing. So then just a couple other like contemporaries that I've picked up. One was Burying Water by K.A. Tucker. I don't think I hauled this before. I picked this up just because I was trying to pick up a few more of K.A. Tucker's books after The Simple Wild because I loved it so much, and this was one that sounded like it definitely was a little darker and a little more of a mystery, but sounded really cool nonetheless. And then I picked up a copy of The Austen Playbook by Lucy Parker. You guys know I love Lucy Parker, but I actually read this one from the library when I read it, so I wanted to own a copy of it. This is adorable. If you like contemporaries, if you want something fun and funny and just really heartfelt, I love Lucy Parker. Go check her out. 2 more contemporaries I bought that I have already read that I just picked up a copy of because they were at the used bookstore, and one of them is, oops, wrong way around. One of them is Real by Katie Evans, and then the sequel, which is called Mine by Katie Evans. These 2 were ones that I've read years ago when they first came out. I remember they were really big when they first came out. I believe they are, well, it's about a guy who I believe is a boxer, and then the girl, some kind of boxing like sport. But he's definitely like your bad boy, and it's very like, remembering it's very like emotional and kind of angsty, and I've just been really in the mood for like a good bad boy recently. I'm not sure why. I've been really wanting that. So I picked them up just to give them a reread and have them on my shelf because I do have them on my Kindle. So I did grab some of the Kate Daniels to hold up. So yeah, I just, as I said before, I did buy some of the Kate Daniels series because I already own some of it. So this is, I think this one's actually the last one, which is Magic Triumphs. And then I have Magic Binds, which I think this is book 9. And then I've got Magic Breaks, which I think this is book 7. I'm still trying to keep up. I believe, yeah, this is book 7. This is the one I'm actually about to start. So yeah, really deep down the Kate Daniels rabbit hole. And then I've got a couple books I was sent by the Read Bliss team before a video that we're doing together. One is Lori Foster's Cooper's Charm, which I'm actually almost done with, and it's really cute. I really, really have enjoyed it. And then the other one is Her Favorite Maverick by Christine Rimmer. This was adorable and I loved it. So if you see this one around in the store, definitely pick this one up. But both of these I'm definitely going to talk about in an upcoming video with Read Bliss. And lastly, I've just got a couple historicals I picked up. Most of these I've actually, well, 2 of them I've already read and 2 of them I haven't. So I picked up The Firebrand by Susan Wiggs. This is part of the Chicago Fire series that I talked about last month, that I read the first one and really loved. So I picked up I think this is the 3rd one in that trilogy. And then I picked up To Catch an Heiress by Julia Quinn, which I have read the first book in this like duology, which was How to Marry a Marquis. No, this is the first book. I read How to Marry a Marquis, which is book 2, because as per usual, I read things out of order. But my best friend read this one and loved it, and she said it was hysterical. So when I went and found it at a used bookstore. And it's funny because it doesn't really bother me that the cover is not like in pristine shape, because it is so much easier to read a mass market paperback when it's been broken in. So I know that makes some people really cringe, but for me, it didn't really bother me. I think it was only like $1.50, so it's okay. And then I picked up Just Like Heaven by Julia Quinn, which I have read. This is book 1 in the Smythe Smith Quartet, and you guys know I love that series, so I wanted to just kind of complete the set. I already own the other couple of books in that trilogy or quartet. And then last but not least, I bought Married by Morning by Lisa Kleypas, which is part of the Hathaway series. And again, I just saw this at the used bookstore and wanted to complete my set because I already own almost all of the other books in the Hathaways, and I think this one and one other I read from the library, so I wanted to pick it up. Alright guys, so those are all the books that I picked up over the past like 4 or 5 months. I'm really excited about them, and I'm actually very happy with myself because I feel like I've been a little bit more selective in my book buying, you know, buying things I'm really excited to read or read right away, or is completing a series, and I'm very happy about that. I love buying books, but I'm trying to be a little better about thinking about it first. So let me know what you guys are reading or picking up. What's your strategy with book buying? Are you just like a fly by the seat of your pants type of person? Do you make a list? How do you buy books? I'd love to know. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.